Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Teachers Lounge. Joining with me today is the stupendous, marvellous, terrific, inspirational Lauren Webster. I've used up all my adjectives to describe you. Welcome again. And today we're going to be going over a really good episode that was very popular last time, and it's all about funny stories. So this is kind of like Funny Stories Part 2, and we had a great response from it last time. So welcome. How are you? You right?
Yeah, real good, thank you.
Do you want to tell everyone your exciting news about your photography?
I am a finalist in the Welsh Wedding Awards.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Well done. Amazing achievements. All hard work's paying off.
Yes, definitely.
Well done.
Thank you.
Love to talk more about that, but this is a teacher educational show, not photography. So we're going to move swiftly on, but well done.
No,
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we're going to do funny episodes, and just like last time, I've got all the funny stories that have been sent in, and you haven't heard any of them, so this will be quite good. And I haven't read all of them properly. I've just glanced to make sure that they're clean, well, relatively funny, and I've tried not to remember any of them. So also, before we start, I'd like to say a massive thanks to everyone, because now we are over 1,000 subscribers on the channel.
I think we say it every episode, but
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It is amazing. Yeah, and
I wonder if we'll be sat here one day and we're like, we got 50k.
well, hopefully we won't be sat here I won't be sat here in a couple of weeks, because hopefully we're in our little snug room at the moment. It's not the best studio, but hopefully we've got a couple of venues lined up where we can try out some different backgrounds, shall we say, for the podcast, and we can have some more guests coming on. Hopefully we've got a head teacher lined up. Hopefully we've got a few other surprises lined up, and hopefully it'll be done in a nice environment, and it will have a nice backdrop behind us as well. So
Yeah, the Maldives would be great.
well, they haven't replied.
You better take me.
They haven't replied. Never
Damn.
mind. Didn't want them anyway.
Maybe one day.
Didn't want them anyway. Right, so and the Twinkle article and video went out today. So if you haven't checked that out, if you're a teacher, you'll know exactly what Twinkle is. It's full of resources for schools and teachers and teaching assistants. But get onto there. The article about teaching assistants has just gone up. They're going to promote it this week as well, and the dogs joined us. But also, I think this week at some point, I can't remember the date, but this week in September, it is National Teaching Assistant Appreciation Day. So
Make sure you appreciate TAs.
make sure you appreciate, don't need to buy them anything. Just go in and say thank you, and give them a message. Say something like, "Thank you for working really hard and helping me." Anything like that.
Tell them they're doing a good job.
Tell them they're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Because they are. It's really hard. Really hard. Right. Are you ready for story number 1?
I'm ready.
Some of them are quite quick, short stories. Some of them are long. We'll just see how we go on. Okay, here we go. During my Year 8 sex education class, no one could answer the question, what happens to a young woman during puberty? So I rephrased it. What happens to a young woman as they mature? One of my students put their hand up and said, they start to carry a purse. Like an old woman. Pretty good. Had to be there, maybe.
Yeah. I think I was expecting something worse
Okay,
to come out than that.
here we got a couple of lines that someone sent in. Number 2. So this one has, they've put in a couple really quick, snappy ones. They've asked their class, what's an evangelist? And someone's put someone that plays the evangelo. and then they've also said on another time, why can't freshwater fish live in salt water? And then someone said the salt water would give them high blood pressure. Right, so on this one, someone said, when our students began raising donations for child abuse prevention, the school administrator or secretary did its part by setting up a collection box outside the head teacher's office and there was a banner at the front door, and it said, "Please give £1 to help stop child abuse in the head teacher's office." That's good.
That's very good. That's very funny.
I like stuff like that. You know, just a simple, like, word error. You know, they obviously haven't read that back, have they? They've just
No.
gone for it. Okay. Walking through the hallways in our high school, I saw the new supply teacher standing outside a cupboard with his forehead against the cupboard. I heard him mutter, "How did you get yourself into this?" We've all been there. Knowing he was assigned to a difficult class, I tried to offer a bit of moral support. "Are you okay?" I asked. "Can I help? Can I do anything?" He lifted his head and replied, "I'll be fine as soon as I get this kid out of the cupboard."
Oh no. Oh.
That's a good one. That is a good one. Although that is a sackable offence, putting a kid in a cupboard.
No, I don't suppose he put them in the cupboard, obviously.
No, he said, "I'll be fine as soon as I get this kid out of the cupboard."
Yeah, but he didn't put the child in the cupboard.
Oh, maybe
the
not.
child's probably gone in the cupboard.
Well,
and he probably
it
can't
says
get him out.
here she heard him mutter, How did you get yourself into this?" And he was muttering it to himself.
Ah.
Maybe he did put him in there. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't suppose he did.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have the job.
Yeah, true. Okay. Just before my final college finance class, a less than stellar student approached me, and she said, "Can you tell me what mark I need to get a pass on the course?" I gave him the bad news. Enjoying that chocolate?
I am, yeah, thanks.
Handsome over. You've ate it all?
No.
Oh, hand me some chocolate over, please. Oh, yes. So, just before my final exam in college, a less than stellar student approached me. "Can you tell me what grade I'd need to pass the exam?" I gave him the bad news. "This exam is worth 100 points. You'd need 113 points just to earn a D." "Okay," he said. "How many would I need to get a C?" So he hasn't even registered that even if he aced this test and got 100, he wouldn't even get a D, because the test is only out of 100. He needs 113 points out of his year to get a D. And then he's gone, right, okay, what about a C, which is even higher than a D?
It's not really a funny story, though. It's a bit more sad, really.
Yeah, sad that he hasn't understood that at all, has he?
No.
But why has he got to that point and then gone, like, the day of the thing, and gone, what do I need to do to pass?
Not organised.
Not all.
Need something from the Positive Teacher Company.
Get yourself a planner, young man, from the Positive Teacher Company right now. I'll sort you out. I was using that today, so good again.
They look nice when you posted it on your thing.
Yeah. Although it's a bit of a running joke Scotch and chocolate, in year 3 and 4 because we've got some chocolate makers coming in tomorrow.
I thought that was today.
No, tomorrow. They're coming in to do like a little demo about chocolate, and we're doing about fair trade and how it's made, because, we're super fun. And once I got my new planner, I went through my old planner and I was trying to transfer the dates over into my new planner. So what I didn't realise was that I didn't update the date that they were coming in my old planner. So the date that I transferred over was the wrong date. So luckily I asked as I was transferring over, and I was like giving it the big one. "Oh yeah, I've got this new planner. When are they coming in to do the chocolate thing? It's Monday, isn't it? Next Monday." And they were like, no, it's Wednesday. And they're like, oh, your planner's not very good, is it? And I was like, no, it's not the planner.
It's me.
It's
It's
me.
me. Oh, I see.
Right.
Can I have my chocolate back now, please?
You bet the whole... No, I'm finishing off now.
You better not have. That was for me to celebrate, and you've just gone
And you ate 3/4 of it, celebrating.
Yeah, but I wanted to eat the whole thing to celebrate. Well, if that's how you want to play it.
As part of my topic, I asked my year five, I can't speak.
It's 'cause you ate my
Take two.
chocolate.
I know. As part of our topic, I asked my year fives how they'd make the world a better place. One said, I'd make potato skins a main dish rather than an appetizer.
No myth.
That's what it's coming to, isn't it? Kids' priorities these days.
Oh, it's all about food. I can't
Well,
blame
that I
him.
understand, though.
I can't blame him. I was just annoyed you ate all the rest of my chocolate. So I kind of feel them. I get them.
I recently ran into an old student of mine, and I hate it when that happens. Most don't say anything to you, though, do they?
Some do. Some
It's
don't.
rare.
I ran into two when I was working on the weekend.
Yeah, some do. Rarely, though.
Both very nice.
The majority will just pretend they don't know who you are. They don't want to engage, do they?
I don't know. Some we do.
Yes, some, but majority I don't think do.
Maybe. Maybe if it's easier for them not to.
You'll damage their rep,
Yeah, they're too cool.
street cred. Anyway, I recently ran into an old student of mine who said, I always liked you. You never had favourites. You were just mean to everyone. What would you say to that?
Thanks, I suppose.
Just doing my job. Consistent. I don't think... Right, hang on. During my first meeting with my physically challenged students, I assured them that most are handicapped in some way. I'm going to stop there. I don't think you can use the word handicap nowadays in school. I don't think that's politically correct, is it?
No.
I think it's differently abled or differently bodied or something like that.
Not as a mobile.
No, it's differently abled. I'm sure it's something like that. Really PC. You definitely can't use handicapped unless you're playing golf. That is it. Anyway, they said we're all different in some way. And then they said, look at me. My eyes are so bad, I need to wear glasses, like you. Because I barely hear, I need a hearing aid. And look at my ears, they're much bigger than they should be. And then another kid has piped up and gone, oh, don't forget your nose.
Oh dear.
They do that all the time, don't they?
Oh yeah.
Just like that innocence. When our school librarian announced she was changing schools, my fellow teacher asked a student, why do you think Miss Richardson is leaving? And a year 3 said, probably because she's read all our books. Isn't it funny? You just don't know what goes on in their head. That's what they think they do.
Yeah, they're very literal, aren't they? Like, and what makes me laugh is they think that we live in school, and that is what we do. We don't have a family. We don't have a life outside of school. The times I've heard children say, like, what, you have a mum and dad, or what, you're going
You
home.
have a life.
Don't you live here?
It's when they see you in Tesco and stuff, and they're like, have you just come out of school for a bit of food and you're going back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That reminds me of that, like, they think that librarian, all she does is read books.
Yeah.
She doesn't do anything else. She just sits and reads books all day. That's all she does.
This one's good. So normally we get teachers from mainstream schools and, et cetera, et cetera. So this is actually someone that teaches in a prison.
Ooh.
Right, so listen to this.
Interesting.
and it's on behalf of the father. So my father began teaching business classes at the local prison through community college. On his first night of class, he started a chapter on banking. Excuse me. During the course of his lecture, the subject of ATMs came up, and he mentioned that on average, most machines contain only about £1,500 at a given time for security reasons. Just then, a man at the back raised his hand and said, "I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but the machine I robbed had about £5,000 in it."
You shouldn't laugh. Stealing is not okay, and it's not funny.
No, but oh,
That well, you prove him wrong.
yeah. A police car was flashing its lights and pulled me over near the high school where I teach. As the officer asked for my license and registration, my students began walking past and riding their bikes past me, and they were jeering and hooting, and some even stopped and took videos.
Oh no!
And the officer was ticketing me for speeding. Finally, the officer asked if I was a teacher at the school due to all the heckling, and I told him yes, I was, and how embarrassing this was. He then said, "I think you've paid your debt to society," and he smiled at me and left without giving me a ticket.
Oh well, that's one very kind police officer. But yeah, oh how embarrassing! That was like your worst nightmare. Could you imagine? You'd never live it down, especially if he was high school.
Yeah.
Did they say high school?
High school, yeah.
Yeah.
Very lucky not to get a ticket. I mean, if you're speeding, you're speeding.
Well, and yeah, you deserve the ticket, but
Yeah.
those kids must have been heckling. I hope the next time we're going to have detention that you let them off.
Yeah.
They got you out of a speeding ticket.
Oh, listen to this. I was at an athletics event cheering my students during a relay race. My blouse strap broke and exposed my left breast.
Oh no.
Everybody saw, and afterward, my students joked that I was trying to distract the other teams.
Oh.
I don't know if I could go, if something
So
like that
inappropriate.
happened. I couldn't go back to school if that
Oh
happened.
no, I don't think I could either. I think that would be it. I'd be like, hand him a notice in.
Too much. Too
Yeah.
much.
They've seen too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
There's no going back from that, is there? That is.
We've got
That
a
is
couple
awful.
from Facebook from Julie Berry. Some year 3 children came outside break after starting to learn about the Victorians. Me. Did you find it interesting? Child 1. Yeah, they didn't have TV. Child 2. I don't think they even had TV when Miss Berry was our age. Child 1. Miss Berry, did you have TV when you were little? And did you see Queen Victoria? And then she just put like flat emoji face. It's like, what?
Oh dear. The children are hilarious though. Like they have no conception of how old you are.
Oh,
I've asked children before now how old do they think I am, and they've said like 76, and then others have said like 12. It's like
yeah. Well, speaking of that, so on my amazing massive wall calendar from the Positive Teacher Company,
you put your birthday
no,
and how old you are.
it has all the amazing dates that you might not know about. So today, what are we? The 12th of September. It is something like National Gaming Day. We celebrate gaming. So
As in like playing on a game.
yeah, consoles gaming.
Yeah.
So to get some of my boys a bit more engaged in writing, and everyone loves gaming, I thought, we'll do a little bit of writing. What's our favourite game? We'll focus on capitals, full stops, blah, blah, blah. The basics. We just started back again. So we did a little PowerPoint. There's one on Twinkle, and it shows gaming consoles throughout the decades. So it started in 1998 with a Sega Mega Drive, and then it went through 1990 to...
I've got my PS1 in the loft if you want to take it in to show them.
Yeah, my dad's still got it. We've got a Nintendo 64 over there, which came out before that. So that came out in like 1997.
We are showing our age.
Yeah, so I was trying to say to the kids, it was 2D, but and it obviously it said the Game Boy, and then I was saying, oh yeah, we used to have the Pokemon games, and I said they were in black and white, 2D, no sound. It was just like monotone, like old school ringtones. Couldn't understand. They just couldn't get. Had to show them.
The graphics would like blow their mind of
Yeah.
how bad they were.
Had to go onto the internet, show them some video of it in action and of the Nintendo 64. And then I said, and then it was like, a few years after, like 1999, where the Game Boy Color came out, and I was like, we had color, and yeah, just couldn't get it.
Those were the days when Crash Bandicoot would get stuck next to a wall and he'd be stuck moving for ages.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
get from there. You'd have to
Yeah.
restart the
Or,
game.
Do you remember on Tomb Raider on the PlayStation, and the butler would follow you around everywhere?
Oh, I didn't really play that
Oh.
game.
So the butler would follow you around everywhere, and in the mansion there was like a freezer, a walk-in freezer. So everybody would try, and he'd follow you. So everyone would try and go in the freezer, the butler follow you, and then quickly get out and lock the butler in the freezer. Yeah,
Very cruel.
that's what I spent my childhood doing.
That's murder.
He's all right. He's still doing all right. So yeah, they just couldn't get it whatsoever. But I remember when I was in school, and the teachers would say, we used to have the wireless, and telly didn't have color, and you don't really, you can't put it into context because you've just had it in color.
And 3 channels.
Yeah, so I get it. I do get, how they can't see it.
Yeah.
I do get it. Yeah, it is really tricky. Anyway, back to the stories. Yeah, so these are from Facebook. So Lynn's put, not really my story, but I find this hilarious. My great niece started school a few weeks ago. She's not been very happy about having to sit inside all the time, too used to coming outside when she wants to at nursery. She told the teacher how she felt in no uncertain terms. It's just not good enough, she said. Her teacher said the other day that if the class does the task well, then they'll go outside. The task was to show their cutting, sorting and colouring skills. They had to cut out a picture, which, when sorted, would be a bird. Well, my niece cut it, sorted it correctly, and proudly showed it to the teacher. The teacher said, "You haven't coloured it in." My niece, being the wee sass she is, said, "No, it's a white bird." The teacher was dumbfounded and couldn't respond. Out to play went my niece. I've had that too.
What a girl.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Sometimes you exhaust the kids so much, and then you say, "Oh, just colour it in for me." And they come back and they miss white bits. You go, "Oh, you've got a load of white bits." "Oh, yeah, I want them white."
It's snow.
"Yeah, I want them white."
Yeah, it's snow. Leave it alone.
He's wearing a white T-shirt, stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Or when they've drawn a person and they've not put any clothes on and they go, I'm naked, that's why.
All right. I think that's it. In terms of Facebook.
Not too many today.
No, just a few. They're pretty good though, to be fair.
Yeah, there was some real good ones there.
There's some really good ones in
Didn't
there.
quite top my ferret one. I still laugh about that,
The ferret one. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
did she ever get back in contact?
No, she didn't get back in touch. So we'll never
Ah.
know why there was a ferret on the loose in that school. And we'll never know why she left the TA to fight for her life. And we'll never know if she got out of there alive. Yeah. So very funny. So yeah, we'll wrap that up now. So thanks everyone for watching. Only a short one today. But like I said, we're getting things in motion. Hopefully we'll have a nice venue to do the podcast, and I've got quite a few guests lined up, but it's a little bit too, we live very, very far out into the sticks, so it's not very convenient for these guests.
Very rural.
Yeah, so once we can get a nice neutral venue, good locality, which will hopefully be coming soon, and we'll get some really interesting guests on, and the podcast will be slightly more serious. When we have our guests on, we'll be covering some serious issues, a bit like when we had the TA one, our very first one. We'll cover some serious stuff. So yeah, look out for those. That'll be good. And then even when we do have the nice venue, it'll still be nice to do these funny ones and, you know, general chit chats and see how we get on.
Still have me on.
Yeah, if you're good, we'll see. Yeah.
I'm good. Yeah.